Drake Powell is heading to Brooklyn at pick 22. I believe the selection was technically made by the Hawks, traded to Brooklyn as part of which deal was that, Dion? I'm having a hard time keeping them all straight.
There's 23.
Pick 22.
No idea. I know how they got 23.
This These trades, man, it's getting late over here reacting to all these picks. You can't expect us to keep track of them all. Just know that Drake Powell is in Brooklyn. He is joining fellow Tar Heel Dayron Sharp. Do not sleep on this pipeline, baby. We are back. Look, I love Drake Powell the player. I love Drake Powell the person. I wish we could have done him better his one season in Chapel Hill. This was a kid who was a legacy. His mom played, excuse me, his mom went to UNC. His dad played baseball at UNC. In his commitment article talked about how he had always dreamed of like stepping onto the Dean Dome as a kid. And what did we do? We promptly gave him a team that won one quad one game. I'm sorry, Drake. I hope you will come back to Chapel Hill and you still think of your time fondly there. I'm excited to see how he does in the NBA though. This is something, Dion, we talked about this like back in January while watching Ian Jackson's hot streak, and you were always on the side of Drake Powell being the guy who's just as much better in the NBA because his skill set fits it. He's versatile. I actually thought like down the stretch of the season, Hubert got a little more creative with how he used him. There were too many times early in the year where he was just stuck in the corner and not allowed to do anything. Whereas Hubert actually ran some stuff to get him downhill, used him as a screener on pick and pops that took advantage of like he actually shot at a high clip this past year. Max Vert was special at the combine. I wish UNC ran more lobs for him. But yeah, Drake Powell can do a lot of things. I'm not sure if he's like technically very good at anyone's skill yet, but I think he can get there with a couple.
I like his game a lot more in the NBA, like a lot more. I think he's very athletic, very, very athletic. And the faster pace you can play, which is what the Nets are going to want to play at with a Yegor Demon, by the way. Who it's like, be ready because the pass is coming. The oop is coming. So I think it's stylistically the fit is a lot better. I don't think UNC did anything wrong with him though. I mean, they got him picked 22nd. Like all things considered, if you told Drake it was same result, different path. If you
Mhm.
told Drake Powell that he got to go to UNC and then subsequently be picked 22nd, I think he's very happy with that result.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I think going into the year, there was times where he was like a top five in some mocks, whether it was Wasserman's at Bleacher Report. I think he was at number five heading into the year. I want to say Givoni had him top 10 as well, to where you see that was a little disappointing. At the same time, everyone I know who like worked in the recruiting world, whether Jamie Shaw or Jeff Borzello, guys who watch these guys at the grassroots levels, kind of said the same thing going into the year. Is that like his offense is still a ways away. He's just a next level defender. Going back to what he did on the EYBL circuit, playing with the CP3, they played him out of ball screens a lot, allowed him to handle. He showed good explosiveness in the lane at the high school level. Didn't exactly translate a ton at UNC. He didn't get many chances to show what he could do with the ball in his hands, but I also don't know if that was more of just a high school team where he was the best player on the floor, so he got to handle. I think there's a chance. Gavoni comped him to Herb Jones, and I still think that's the best case
Mhm.
scenario. As the point forward type, is a really good defender, good passer. He doesn't really do anything wrong. There was never any time maybe I could think of one or two, one game, two games tops if I thought on it where it seemed as if Drake Powell was the one who was hurting UNC. It seemed like he was usually in the right position, playing good defense, and staying engaged on that end too, which I think could be hard knowing that on the offensive side it's Elliot Cadeau, R.J. Davis, or Ian Jackson got the bulk of the touches. There's a chance you weren't getting past to, but to still stay engaged, I think says something.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. There was a lot of people on North Carolina that had the ball and they and wanted the ball at that, right? Like there wasn't a lot of people that didn't want the ball in North Carolina, and someone had to pay the price for that, and that was Drake Powell. Only one getting drafted tonight. So
Facts.
did he actually pay a price? Maybe did them having the ball actually hurt their ability to? Because RJ would have loved to be drafted tonight. We know Ian would have. Seth is probably far-fetched. With that in mind, like Seth probably has the easiest vision for me of a long NBA career at that, you know?
Mhm.
Um, but with all that said, Drake's the one that got drafted tonight. The rest are trying to figure it out. RJ is gonna play. Lord knows where next year. Ian's at St. John's and Seth's back in Chapel Hill, and Drake gets to go to Brooklyn and have a 4 year guaranteed, what, like
Yeah.
15, $16 million contract. I'd say he lost the battle, he won the war.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm massively happy for him just because his mock draft selection have been all over the place. I think Gavoni's most recent update had him at 32. Really happy he got to go in the first round. And yeah, like I said, I wish Carolina could have been better. The one season he was in Chapel Hill, just knowing it's just tough when you hear a kid who says UNC is his dream school and actually fulfills the promise and comes to play in Chapel Hill and the team doesn't live up to expectations. He was one of the few bright spots. I've said this was one of the two most joyless UNC seasons I've experienced as a fan. Drake to me was never the cause of my frustration. I always wanted more Drake Powell. It seemed like he always played hard, never mailed it in. And just some of the flashes he showed defensively is what I think Brooklyn fans have to look forward to. Really, really good at the point of attack. Like stupidly good perimeter defender. I think where he needs some refining is some of the off-ball stuff. He didn't come up with a ton of steals, especially for a kid with a 7 foot wingspan. You would like that to be a little more apparent. But again, you can't deny the tools. Just get him some good coaching. But I think the weapon he can be at the point of attack, I pray that's the skill that translates and gets him on the court early and allows him to continue to refine that offensive game. Like you said, Dion, Brooklyn's not really going to do any winning anytime soon. So just get Drake Powell his minutes and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's much like North Carolina, there's now a lot of guys on Brooklyn. And where's everybody going to fit? But, uh, there's a lot of trades to be made. I think Cam Johnson's a prime trade candidate. D'Angelo Russell seems like a prime Nick Claxton at the same time. So,
Mhm.
if I'm Brooklyn, I bottom out, tank for AJ, let Drake lead you. Drake will, as we saw in North Carolina, Drake and them gonna go lose some games for sure.
Hey, I like what Brooklyn's doing between Traore, Yegor, and Drake. That's a good little core to build around. There might not be a clear cut like this is the future, but that's why you tank for AJ and you got three really good pieces around him.